What if I told you there's an SUV that doesn't just compete with luxury sedans like the Mercedes S-Class? It dares to steal their crown, all while driving like a sports car. Meet the 2025 Porsche Cayenne GTS, the so-called S-Class killer. This isn't just another leather-lined family hauler. This is Porsche proving that utility and adrenaline can live under the same roof. And once you hear what's under the hood, you'll understand why this SUV is sending shockwaves through the luxury world. From the moment you see it, the Cayenne GTS doesn't whisper sophistication, it projects authority. The stance is lower than a standard Cayenne, giving it that road-hugging look that hints at performance before you even fire it up. Darkened LED headlights add menace, while massive front intakes gulp in air, like a sprinter before takeoff. Along the sides, 21-inch RS Spider wheels command attention, backed by those unmistakable red brake calipers, a Porsche signature that tells you performance lives here. Around back, a subtle adaptive spoiler and quad exhaust outlets finish the look. It's elegant, yes, but also aggressive. Park it next to any SUV in its class, and the Cayenne GTS instantly looks like the alpha. Asterisk, what's fascinating about Porsche design is that it doesn't scream for attention, it earns it. Park the Cayenne GTS next to rivals like the BMW X5M or Audi SQ7, and you'll notice something subtle yet powerful. The Porsche doesn't rely on wild lines or oversized grills to grab you. Instead, it's a masterclass in restraint. Every crease, every angle, feels intentional. It's like the difference between a tailored Italian suit and a flashy designer jacket. You know quality when you see it, even from a distance. And when the sunlight hits those muscular fenders just right, you understand why Porsche design doesn't digit evolves. Step inside, and Porsche proves you don't need to drown a cabin in chrome or piano black to feel premium. The Cayenne GTS is wrapped in Alcantara and leather, with red contrast stitching giving it a motorsport-inspired edge. Slide into the sport seats, and you immediately notice. This isn't a lounge, it's a cockpit. The seating position is perfectly low, visibility is razor sharp, and every switch is exactly where your hand expects it. Porsche doesn't waste your time with gimmicks. It builds an environment designed for drivers who care about the experience. And yet, luxury isn't lost. You'll find heated and ventilated seats, a panoramic sunroof, and high-grade materials everywhere. The craftsmanship doesn't just match rivals like Audi or BMW, it often surpasses them. This is Porsche's way of saying, performance and comfort don't have to be enemies. Asterisk, but here's the twist. This isn't just a driver's SUV. Families and road trippers can feel right at home too. Rear passengers aren't crammed in. There's generous legroom, and the cargo space swallows luggage for a weekend getaway with ease. Porsche even thought about comfort during long drives. The adaptive suspension softens up when cruising, turning rough highways into silk. Add heated rear seats, 4-zone climate control, and an optional panoramic roof. And suddenly, you've got an interior that balances excitement with pure relaxation. It's the rare SUV that feels as thrilling on a mountain road as it does practical in school drop-off lanes. Here's where the Cayenne GTS earns its legend. Pop the hood, and you'll find a 4.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8. But this isn't just about displacement, it's about drama. The numbers: 493 horsepower and 487 pound-feet of torque. That translates to a 0-60 sprint in just 4.2 seconds. Let that sink in. This nearly 2-ton SUV accelerates like a dedicated sports car. Keep pressing, and you'll hit a top speed of 171 miles per hour. That's Autobahn territory. But the real magic isn't just the numbers, it's the delivery. The 8-speed automatic transmission shifts with finesse in normal mode, but switch into Sport Plus, and suddenly it's razor sharp, snapping off gear changes that keep you glued to your seat. It's a dual personality machine. Cruiser one moment, raging beast the next. Asterisk, and let's not forget the sound. That 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 isn't just an engine, it's a symphony. On startup, it growls awake with a deep, resonant note that feels alive. Push harder, and the exhaust opens up into a roar that makes the hair on your arm stand tall. It's not noise, it's music. The kind of soundtrack that turns every tunnel into your personal concert hall. Plenty of SUVs go fast in a straight line. Few can dance in the corners. This is where Porsche engineering pulls off its wizardry. The Cayenne GTS borrows tech from its wilder sibling. The Turbo GT adaptive air suspension lowers the ride, reducing body roll and sharpening response. Reinforced pivot bearings give the steering razor-sharp precision you turn the wheel, and the SUV reacts instantly, like it's reading your thoughts. The water-cooled all-wheel drive system constantly redistributes torque to maximize grip, while available active roll stabilization keeps the body flat even when cornering hard. Add in the optional ceramic brakes, and suddenly physics starts to feel optional. You forget you're in a family SUV. You feel like you're piloting a Porsche 911 on stilts. Inside, the tech experience feels cutting-edge but never overwhelming. The centerpiece is Porsche's latest infotainment system with a crisp, driver-focused display. Everything from navigation to media is quick, intuitive, and customizable. A head-up display projects essential info onto the windshield, so your eyes never leave the road. Meanwhile, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto keep your phone fully integrated. But here's the Porsche difference. Instead of drowning you in touchscreens, it combines physical controls with digital precision. It's the best of both worlds' modern convenience without distraction. Now, let's address the question on everyone's mind. What does all this performance, luxury, and prestige cost? In the US, the Cayenne GTS starts around $124,000. But with Porsche, the options list is extensive and addictive. Want that Alcantara headliner? Extra. Ceramic brakes? Extra. Sport. Design package? Extra. Spec it out, and you could easily push past $140,000. Yes, it's a serious investment. But remember, this isn't just an SUV, it's a Porsche, and that badge carries engineering, heritage, and resale value that few rivals can match. When it comes to rivals, the 2025 Porsche Cayenne GTS is walking into a ring filled with heavy hitters. But here's the thing, it's not afraid. Let's break it down. First, the BMW X5M competition. This beast pushes out over 600 horsepower and will rocket to 60 quicker than the Cayenne GTS. But raw numbers aren't everything. The BMW feels like a sledgehammer, brutal, loud, aggressive. Porsche, on the other hand, is more like a scalpel, precise, balanced. The GTS may give up a few tenths on the stopwatch, but in real-world driving, it feels more usable, more confident, and dare I say, more enjoyable. Then there's the Mercedes-AMG GIL 63S Plush, tech-heavy and brutally quick. It's the Mercedes answer to luxury with firepower. But here's the catch, it leans heavily on comfort, sometimes at the expense of sharpness. The Cayenne GTS counters that by blending both worlds. Proper luxury without sacrificing Porsche DNA. It doesn't just pamper you, it dares you to drive harder. And don't forget the Audi SQ7. Sleek, spacious, and refined. But let's be real, it doesn't stir the soul in the same way. Audi plays it safe. Porsche doesn't. The GTS is the SUV that makes you take the long way home, just to feel that connection between road and driver one more time. Finally, for those who want to go all out, there's the Lamborghini Urus. Wild design, massive performance, and a huge price tag. But that's the key. The Urus sits in a different bracket. The Cayenne GTS gives you 90% of that thrill without the six-figure stretch into supercar money. It's Porsche's way of saying, why overpay for drama when you can get precision and excitement right here. So, what's the final word on the 2025 Porsche Cayenne GTS? It's more than just a luxury SUV. It's a declaration that driving excitement doesn't have to be sacrificed for space, comfort, or practicality. This is a machine that defies categories. It carries your family in comfort, devours highways with confidence, and then begs you to take the long way home just to carve some corners. It's adrenaline in leather wrapping. Refinement with a heartbeat. For anyone who believes SUVs are boring, the Cayenne GTS delivers a wake-up call. It's not just a vehicle, it's an experience. And in a market crowded with predictable choices, that might just make it priceless.